Blake Shelton nails George Strait classic with his own spin on "All My Exes Live in Texas." Sometimes you don't mess with a George Strait classic, unless you're Blake Shelton standing under the Vegas lights with a grin that says you're about to pay tribute and stir up the whole room all at once. At his Vegas residency this February, Blake stood center stage at the Coliseum at Caesar's Palace and gave that crowd a little piece of King George. But he didn't just toss it out like some karaoke filler between hits. Nah, he leaned right in, tipped his hat, and owned it the only way Blake Shelton knows how, with a wink, a joke, and that big Oklahoma drawl that says, "I know I'm not from Texas, but watch me do it anyway." Before he even hit the first note, he set the tone with that cocky, half-serious charm that's kept him on top of the country pile for decades. There's no way I'm going to stand up here and sing a song about George Strait in Texas without singing a song by George Strait about Texas. The crowd roared like they'd just seen a neon sign flicker on in the middle of a dusty two-lane. Because every true country fan knows what's coming next. That first line is a piece of our collective memory. All my exes live in Texas. Blake could have played it straight, just copying King George's smooth-as-butter version. But this is Blake Shelton, the same dude who once tried to rap about talking about himself in the Toby Keith era. He brought a little extra grin, that self-deprecating charm that lets him poke fun at his own trail of exes without pretending he's got a ranch full of them waiting in Abilene. He let the band swing loose on that classic steel guitar, giving it that easy Vegas lounge vibe without losing the neon dancehall heart that made the original untouchable. What hits hardest is how Blake somehow made it feel fresh again, nearly 40 years after George Strait made it a chart topper in '87. Back then, All My Exes Live in Texas was the sly, swaggering proof that Strait could run country radio with one hand while the other tipped his hat to every broken heart he left behind. Whitey Schaefer wrote it like a winking confession, half true, half wild yarn, and George made it a Lone Star anthem that's still playing on bar jukeboxes from Amarillo to Galveston. Blake knows that. He knows you don't out-Strait George Strait. You just salute him and have some fun with it. Because if there's one thing that's kept Blake Shelton packing arenas and coaching The Voice for a lifetime, it's that he never takes himself too seriously. He knows the old guard still matters. He knows what a steel guitar lick and a Texas punchline can do to a room full of tipsy country fans ready to sing along to every word. When Blake leaned into the final chorus, you could almost see him tipping that imaginary hat to King George, a little reminder that no matter how much modern country tries to chase pop hooks or EDM drops, this music still got roots in Texas dance halls.